Hi. Welcome. Welcome to Wellness Wednesdays. Hi. I have an amazing detox tea here, and it smells so good and it feels so good that I'm just so excited. I always bring a tea and then I end up talking so much that my tea is cold by the time that I'm offline. So I'll do my best to just sip on it at least a little bit. Anyways, welcome to Wellness Wednesday on this pretty mystic night for us here in the Battlefords tonight. First of all, it's a new moon for all the astrology lovers out there. Hi, Junie. Hi. Good to see you. I was expecting you. As I was saying, it's an interesting night around here because we suddenly got a snowstorm today, and it's super weird snowstorm. It was raining, it was snowing, and overall we've had such a great winter that this is kind of like take this one push for a few days and just deal with it. So it's a lot of mystery in the air tonight. I don't know, it just feels kind of strange. And it's a new moon, so if you know what new moons are about, that's great. And if you don't know what they're about, it's just specifically this one now, the first one for 2021. Is just this amazing time to manifest all your desires and your goals and everything, where you want to see yourself in the next 12 months. What do you want? If you can paint your perfect life, and if you get this magic stick and you can make anything happen for you in the next year, what would your life look like? You know, like what would you feel? Where would you be? What would you have around you? Now it's the time from astrological and spiritual point of view to manifest all these things, to write them down, to do whatever rituals and ceremonies you're doing. I do these things and I think that it helps, so I would definitely suggest you to do that. Anyways, I wanted to say that Wellness Wednesday has become from something that I was so nervous and so scared from to this. I'm looking forward to it, and it's feeling more natural to me. And I've been cutting myself subconsciously that Wellness Wednesday for me, it's not just me talking about health here, or interacting or trying to reach people and trying to send a message out there, but it's also subconsciously I change my habits. I notice that whenever it's Wellness Wednesday, I take better care of my skin, of the foods that I choose to eat, of how much exercise do I do, and all these things. And then I started thinking, so pretty much like every day can be Wellness Wednesday once we program ourselves to be on that like vibe of living the good life, you know, just treating yourself better with whatever you can. And this is why we're here today, and this is we're gonna dive in a little bit into where can we start now, starting at the beginning of a new year, because now, to be real and to be honest, the fact that we started a new year doesn't mean that everything is magically going to change and life is going to be going back to normal, if ever, or that our health and social and economical and political issues are going to disappear. None of that. But it's a new chance to take a decision for ourselves and decide where do we want to go from here. And I decided to talk today about what logically makes sense to me. Where do we start in this process of rebuilding, this process of comeback, and of recreating ourselves and our health and our life in pretty much any way we can and we want to, because honestly at this point we've got nothing to lose. We already seen that everything is just so unpredictable and crazy, so might as well try to do our best and just create life under our own dreams and our own desires and design. And that of course includes different areas of life, but health comes to be the fundamental one. And purposely, during the holidays and in December, I wanted to talk more about the mindset and the mental health, and how we can set our mind for success and for overcoming all the challenges that the life and the universe is throwing at us, and to see everything as a blessing. But in order for us to get our game up to another level and to step up and to live this healthy and happy and fulfilled life, we're gonna have to put a lot of work in it. And it's not only about the mind, it starts and ends in the mind. But then now I would like to focus on the body and how can we live healthy life in a healthy and happy body. And starting this new, let's call it a new cycle and a new beginning and a new year and a new life, honestly, we're all standing in front of a question. It's an important and fundamental question that each one of us have to answer for ourselves. And it's, where do we want to go from here? What do we want to do with this, and how do we want our own life to evolve from here on? We've seen the good, we've seen the bad, so now it's up to us and our own choice, because we can drag this situation throughout the time and it can cause us a lot of misery, a lot of suffering, a lot of anxiety, stress, pain, losing people and such. Or we can get our act together and go ahead, rebuild ourselves, raise our standards, start taking care of ourselves, and literally go through COVID the same way that we have been going through with everybody else. And the question that we need to answer ourselves, and the answer is either gonna take us to that happy and healthy state, and it's gonna change our life and our existence for the best, or it's ultimately going to destroy us. And I'm going to tell you a little story that has been, it came by me, and in a way I got involved in it because I naturally wanted to help. But also that story, this case needed to come by me in order to remind me that anything we're capable, this body is capable of healing absolutely anything, and we're in charge of our health and of our destiny. It's not no outside sources and no outside influences. It's us. So long story short, without getting into details, one of my good friends is been living with condition for years now, and he's my age. Which condition ultimately will lead him to disabled motor activities in his body, which means that he won't be able to move if that condition isn't treated, and if he wouldn't have taken measures to change his life and to create a different environment for his body and for himself. So I was aware of the situation, and we've connected recently, and of course it was brought up, we talked about it. So I wanted to see how is he doing and what the progress is, and he told me that last year in April his right leg stopped working. And we're talking about a 35 years old, very active person, business owner, entrepreneur, somebody who's been into sports and adrenaline all his life. And in April last year, his right leg stopped working. And he's been to all kind of doctors, and he's run all kind of tests, and apparently they cannot tell him what exactly is the cause of something is messing up his immune system, and they cannot pin it down and be like, this is the thing that is messing up your immune system. This is exactly what you need to do in order to recover yourself. The medicine and the doctors are pretty much saying that it's a condition that ultimately will lead to disabled motor activities. And how does a young person accept a diagnosis like this? Well, you don't. And luckily he did not either. And I'm so happy that we got to talk about it, because he told me that he tried medications, he tried doctors, he went everywhere, and he ultimately decided to try a vegan diet. So he's been on a vegan diet for, he said, 6 months now, and the activity in his leg has came back, not to his fully potential from what I understood, but things are getting better. So the first thing and the first thought that came to my mind was another person who I've never met in my life personally, but virtually I've been following his progress, and I've been in touch with him for the past 6 years. And it's a person who I can identify as absolute natural healer, a holistic health on another level. That person can heal anything. He's pretty much a student of Dr. Sebi, and I don't know if you guys know who Dr. Sebi is, but he's a big deal. But pretty much I run by him the diagnosis, what's going on with my friend, explain him what the condition is, and among a lot of information, a lot of valuable information that he gave me about how he can help himself, he made the point that I needed to remind myself, and I needed to come across this story to understand that our body is capable of reversing any disease. And I mean any disease. I mean cancer, I mean diabetes, I mean anything that you can think about. Our body has all the tools that we need to reverse that. But what do we have to do? We got to give it the right environment. And this is what we're going to be talking about today a little bit, about what is the regular environment for our body, how is disease being created, and how can we reverse that, how can we clean ourselves up, and how can we set our own health and our own rules for our own life. So, you know how we always talk about the immune system as being pretty much what gives us life and what helps us fight with everything that comes our way and it's not good for us. And the immune system to me is the foundation of everything, and especially this year there is a lot more attention that we need to put on it, and we will be doing just that. But also I want to talk about, okay, we know about the immune system, we have some knowledge and some understanding of how to kind of like boost it up, how to keep it up, and like we have a general understanding of what a healthy and strong immune system is. But now, okay, today in the day, and specifically last year with COVID, a lot more of the unhealthy habits, like they just increased, a lot more of alcohol and drug abuse, a lot more of bad eating habits, a lot more of like stress and anxiety and bad mindset and just this worry and fear in the air everywhere, a lot more sitting at home behind the TV, munching on something because like people weren't working, everyone was at home, and a lot still are. So all the unhealthy and all the bad increased in the past year, and I don't see a lot talk being done around in any like social media space, any health space, anything that tells us, okay, this is what you citizen can do to help yourself, to clean yourselves, and to live a healthy life. So where am I going with this? In order for us to understand that and to learn how to get the tools and resources that we need to help ourselves, we need to talk about our lymphatic system. Our lymphatic system is that kind of like a web in our body that takes care to eliminate everything that is toxic for us, that is taking the life out of us, everything that is bad for us. Our lymphatic system is our sewage system pretty much. And as any system, it needs to be regularly cleaned and it needs to be stimulated. And if we provide it with the right environment and we treat it the right way, we're never going to have to worry about a virus, about a bacteria, about germs, about anything coming and seriously affecting our health. And think about that, especially. No other generation up until our generation now has been dealing with so many man-made chemicals and toxins as we are dealing today in the day. Just think about it for a second. Our air is polluted. Our water is not clean and has antibiotics in it. Our food is poisoned, like there's GMOs and all kind of crap that they spray on it, and then pardon my language, but it's the truth. What we feed our mind with is social media, it's news, it's fear, it's propaganda, it's crazy, you know, like the organs that we use to detoxify and to clean our system, they're overwhelmed from all this abuse that we've been doing. So how do we survive, you know, like how, no matter how strong and perfect this body is, how do we survive? How do we make it work? And honestly, guys, like, we don't need no COVID to kill us, because we are surely, as a humanity, and slowly killing ourselves, and we're doing it every day with our daily choices, and it's crazy. And COVID is going to come and go, you know, and then it's going to move to the next thing and the next thing, because it's not the first thing, it's not going to be the last thing. Our humankind has dealt with a lot of serious issues, and if we manage to keep the humankind, we'll be getting a lot of more of these issues in future. So until we do not understand how to get our stuff together and how to start owning our life, to get our life into our own hands, and how to take a personal responsibility for our choices and for our health and vitality, until we don't set up a healthy and happy environment, internal and external, which means body, mind, spirit, then until we don't learn that, then there is no, we're always going to blame our failures on somebody else, on government or COVID or whatever it is, but that's not what it is. It's our own personal responsibility, and no vaccine will ever save you if you are poisoning yourself in every possible way that you can, and no government is ever going to care about you and come to knock on your door and be like, I really want to help you with your health through COVID, please let me help you. This is not the case. It's never been the case. It's never going to be the case. So it's your own responsibility to take your health and your well-being into your own lives, into your own hands. And how does that happen? When we raise our standards, when we start questioning what's good and what's bad for us in every aspect of our life, and start reaching out mostly for the things that are good for us, and start really taking care of ourselves. And I don't mean here, again, I like to say that because I never want to sound like I mean, okay, today you got to drop everything, do not drink no alcohol, don't smoke cigarettes, don't eat bad food, you know. This is not what I mean at all. I am not in any way perfect myself. I have a lot of flaws. I have a lot of fallbacks throughout the time to things that I know that they're bad for me. But here and there, I'll still do them. And it's not the point to frustrate yourself and to seek for perfection. The point is to, yes, baby, preach, because that is the truth. We got to talk more about these things. I don't see a lot of talk being done about that. But we need to start loving ourselves first, and to start choosing the best for ourselves the same way that we choose it for our children, for our parents, for our lover or partner, for whoever it is in our life, for those people that we love and care. We don't poison them. We don't treat them badly and wrongly. We don't want to kill them. We want them around us. We want them to be healthy and to be thriving. Well, this is the eyes that we need to look through where we look into ourselves. And we pretty much, it's super simple. Raise your standards, start wanting most of what's the best for you, and start cutting out and eliminating all those things that are bad for you, for your body, for your mind, for your environment, for your growth, everything, for your spirit. So it's ultimately your choice. Do you want to live a healthy and happy and fulfilled life of dreams and goals, life to enjoy along with your family, and to be able to travel, to be in your vitality, and to be healthy and happy, and to be just this joyful person? Or do you want to live life in misery, in suffering, in pain, in anxiety, in stress because of your own daily choices? It's a very simple question. So whenever you decide that you love yourself enough to treat yourself in the best way you can, 90% of the time, or 95 or 99, then we can start getting all the tools and all the resources and information and figuring out how can we do that. Okay, well, we're sitting today now. We just finished with December, with holidays, with a bad well, bad emotional year for the most of it, of like just sitting life and doing nothing. What do we do now? Where do we start? And this is where we start going into how can we clean our system and ourselves. So first thing that we need to answer ourselves is, what brings blood, I already gave the answer. What brings oxygen and nutrients to our cells and to our body? That's the blood. Our blood is our river of life. It transports all this the oxygen first, and we talked about it. The oxygen is the most important thing that we need as humans in order to be healthy and to be thriving. Think about that every day when you're out there for extended periods of time, cutting your own oxygen. Figure out how you can do breathing techniques, how you can do you can use probably different tools or different exercises, how you can take breaks. Oxygen needs to constantly flow through our body, because if not, we'll die. We'll literally die. It's the truth. Try to hold your breath for a few minutes and see if you take it too long. Anyways, blood is the river of life. And if you want to know how is everything going in your system and what do you need to work on and what's good, what's bad, run blood tests. They will tell you everything. Okay, the second question, what is the primary method of eliminating all the toxins and all the waste from our system? Is the lymphatic system. Its job is to clean and to return tissue fluid to the organs and to the heart. So the lymphatic system is our friend. We need to treat it nicely. And it is, honestly, it's one of the most important circular systems in the body. And it's responsible for the eliminations of all the toxins, of the metals. It boosts our immune defense. And it pretty much is just that fighter that we have inside of us that works for the immune system and fights off everything that we don't need. And whenever we abuse too much or are under the wrong environment for too long, the unpleasant environment for ourselves, then our lymphatic system gets blocked. And then is when it gets really scary, because when it's blocked, then it cannot fight off the bacteria and the viruses anymore. It cannot transmit all the fluids back to the heart. And then it's where disease starts to grow and start to thrive. So we must keep our lymph system and our lymph nodes clean and flowing by eliminating all excess waste and by providing our body with vital nutrients, with the prime environment, and with deep and diaphragmatic breathing techniques. We will talk a lot more about these things next Wednesday when we will talk about food, about breathing, about all the daily techniques that we can do to help ourselves. Today, I just want to go kind of briefly over it and kind of get you onto the idea. So next Wednesday, when you come back, you're ready to absorb the information based on what you heard today and what you already know that you got to do. And the human body possesses self-healing properties. So we are born, everything that we're born with is everything that we need. And again, our body can heal anything. So we need to learn how to work with it. And a healthy body is capable of eliminating toxins generated by outside sources, by chemical poisoning, by whatever comes to you. It is capable. It is possible. And our bodies are just so strong. They're like the strongest machine that you can possibly imagine. And they're so perfect. They're so designed to eliminate all the bad from the bloodstream and to just keep us flowing and keep us going as long as we want to work with it. And our bodies, the problem comes when we adopt a life and we adopt a lot more of these routines and those activities that take the life out of us rather than give us life. So how does the body respond to toxins? Well, the very first response is eliminating them from the system, and there is different ways to do that. It's we have organs in us that are their primary job is to do that. Our kidneys, our liver, these are. Everyone knows that, and everyone knows when we have a little more too many drinks over a period of time, how the liver suffers and how we need to give it some time to recover. Well, it's the liver, it's the kidneys, it's the urinary tract, it's the bowels, and it's the skin. The skin is our largest organ, and the skin has a very, very important role when it comes to eliminating toxins. And it's in as simple way as sweating is. So sweating is extremely beneficial to us. Going to a sauna, working out, doing type of activities that get your blood going and get your body heated up and going. And sweat is an amazing detoxifier. Use it. So there is different ways. There is a lot of resources and a lot of information out there available for us to learn how we can detoxify and help ourselves. And some of the best detoxifiers for the lymphatic system are fruits. So I would suggest, I always try my best to have a lot of fruit present in my diet at any point. I love fruit, so for me it's very easy, but fruits are a massive detoxifier. And I'm going to tell you a little secret, which we're going to talk more about next time, but fruits are stronger detoxifiers than vegetables, than greens, that anything you've heard out there. Specifically, I'm going to give you two, specifically melons and berries. These are the two most potent detoxifiers for the lymph system. Melons and berries. Breathing techniques, deep breaths in, deep breaths out. I'm gonna explain some of those techniques next week. And sweat, skin. So they're pretty simple, but they're kind of a big deal. Think about them and pay attention to I like to put myself into almost like a cycles, just to see if I do a different routine for a certain period of time, what is going to happen to me. And I'm going to make a little parenthesis here I'm going to open, and I'll probably talk about it more next time. But I just ran an experiment on myself over the past, since the year started pretty much. So it's been, 2 weeks now. Over December and the holidays, it's like getting together, and like in our own ways, and food, not necessarily the best food, drinks, like all these celebrating and partying and whatever it was for each one of us. But December, the holidays are always like heavy on our body and our system. If I say that I didn't abuse of the holidays, I'm gonna lie. So I don't want to lie to you. I did abuse a little bit, and effectively, soon enough, I noticed it on my skin, on the way that I feel, on the way that my energy level dropped completely. My body, I started getting like acne and just skin issues, and I don't usually deal with this type of thing. So I know this is not my first way around. Every time I eat dairy products, that's what happens. So I experimented with myself, and for the past 2 weeks pretty much I have been on clean eating. I'm not drinking alcohol. I'm not following any cleanse right now or any detox program. I just kicked out all the animal products of my diet, all the acidic stuff. I drink coffee maybe a couple of times a week. This is just an experiment with myself, from me to me. And effectively enough, after the first few days, I can already see all the changes. And today's like second week, and everything that was present 2 weeks ago is gone. The skin irritation is gone. That bloating is gone in my stomach. My energy levels are up. I'm working out every day. I got myself together, and I did what I know already from years of trying things out. We each one of us know what's good for our own body and what's not, because every body is different. And I don't want to sit here and say that what works for me is going to work for you and vice versa. But I do believe that there is some basics that work for everybody, and there's some basics that are bad for everybody. But we'll have a lot more time to go into this. I just wanted to tell you, experiment with yourselves and see what works and what doesn't work for you. And then you will know what's particularly good for your own self. So what are the three main causes that build toxins into our immune system, into our bloodstream? The first one is the auto-intoxication. When we consciously consume poisons, poisoning ourselves, getting ourselves into that position where we cannot process it, right? That's auto intoxication. Another ways of sources of disease and poisoning, and like getting those toxins in you, it's the chemical poisoning. Everything around us, it's poison, like the products that we use in our household, in our cosmetics, the air we breathe, the GMO products, like that's chemical poisoning. Whenever we fracture ourselves or have a physical injury, that's something that creates a base of a disease and malfunction in the body. And the destructive mindset and negativity, it equals the mindset equals everything that the body does in terms of the weight is the same, because when we're on that bad mindset and on that negativity and stress and anxiety, it does the exact same effect as poisoning ourselves with alcohol and drugs and bad food. So these are some of the sources of disease, and disease is pretty much poisoning our system, putting more on it than it can actually handle, tearing down more than we are building up. And this poisoning is destructive to your cells, to your health, and to your life, because abused long enough, and some people don't even need that long, because we are all different, and because we come from different environments, and we have different our bodies are kind of like presented with different conditions when we're even born, because all these chemicals are inside of us even before we are born. So for some people, it doesn't even take that long. So it's not only abuse. Some of the things, a lot of the things we cannot control. A lot of the things are out of our control, and that's why it's so important to understand what can we do in order to help our body and our system to clean out, to work properly, and to go back to its center and to its natural state, which is clean and flow. And so the 3 reasons that toxins can build up into the bloodstream: taking more than we can eliminate, which means when we make constant demands on our body and we don't give it enough time to recover, biochemical additives and waste, and animal products. We will talk about that. Don't jump on me, because I know that that's a very controversial topic, but we'll talk more about it. Again, I have my own experience and my own resonations and observations about how animal products treat my particular body, and my body doesn't process them. So we'll get into that. And an overly acidic diet. Overly acidic diet allows all these microorganisms such as yeast, bacteria, funguses, everything else to not only live inside of us, but to thrive inside of us. And all these microorganisms, they produce their own waste. So imagine, we're already dealing with our own problems, but then when we create an acidic environment inside of us, then we're feeding these little microorganisms, to not use another word, and then they're producing their own waste. So it's like double the work for our system. So a lot of the things are in our own control. And we need to understand that what disease is, it's simply polluted environment. So unfortunately, we start doing things when we start seeing the signs of a disease. And that friend of mine that I told you that I talked to yesterday or the other day about how I can help my other friend through natural medicine and through herbs and through the right kind of diet, because I do believe that food can heal. And he said something that it was so true, and it sank so deep that it was almost painful. He said, people don't care about their health. People only start caring when they have cancer, and then they don't know what to do. And they somehow relate healthy living with missing out. So imagine, usually when disease shows up, then is when we start taking the steps in order to make ourselves better. Where we can start doing that, because before there is anything that we need to worry about, hi baby, before there is anything that we need to worry about. And again, disease means polluted environment. Everything is reversible. Everything can be healed. So we need to pay our attention to ourselves, and we need to take the steps before it's too late, and before we have to do a lot more extra work and put ourselves through a lot more trauma and stress and anxiety and fear. And you know, like, our body is our temple, and it's our foundation, it's what we have. So we gotta fuel it. And how do you look at your body as for example, as a Ferrari, like as a super expensive car? And I'm not even a car person, but it seems like an appropriate association. You won't put a regular fuel into your Ferrari, right? Like, you gotta invest into the expensive stuff. You gotta invest into the prime fuel, the speed fuel. Well, that's how your body is. Why would you put any kind of trash inside of you and then pray that you don't get sick? It's literally in your own hands. Because every time I go to the supermarket, I always see people with those carts full of junk, of like chips and sodas and like sugar everywhere, and it's nothing healthy, nothing natural, nothing earthy, nothing fresh. Like, how do you thrive? How do you even survive? Forget about thriving, because you can never thrive. How do you survive like that? We need to try to treat our bodies as our temple, literally. And it starts with changing the mindset, understanding, and asking yourself the question, why do I want to invest in my body? Why do you want to invest in your health? What are your reasons? Think about that and start shifting your mindset from that point of view, and you'll see that a lot will change after that. And once you switch your have tos with everything the things that we say, I have to go to work out in the morning, you know, like, it's just this annoying thing that I gotta do just to say that I did it, or just to follow a plan, or whatever somebody told me to do. When we switch the have to with I get to, that's what a real game changer is. Because Nelly, oh my gosh, I just love that my friend from back home, Nelly, she's always here, Zdrasti, and I just love that because it's so late over there, and she always brings me this just amazing mood. Thank you for being here, Благодаря ти, Nelly. Well, she will be able to admit that, for example, in lots of countries, in my home country, in Bulgaria, gyms are not open. In a lot of other countries, there's lockdowns right now, nothing is open. We are lucky and blessed enough, myself and my local community, to live in a place where things are accessible to us, things are open, and we get to go to the gym in the morning, we get to work out, and we get to treat ourselves, we get to do all these amazing things for ourselves that ultimately end up being a physical therapy, a mental therapy. They boost our creativity, they boost our metabolism. Physical activity is a must. Every day we need to find a way to move our body, and it can be with a gym, it can be through dancing, it can be yoga, it can be jogging, whatever you're into. Every day we need to make sure that we're doing physical activity. So think about that, think about my friend, the story that I told you at the beginning of this live. Think about for a second about the scary thought of part of your body refusing to operate. A motor skills in your body just giving up on you. I don't want to imagine how that feels, but it's a thing. And a lot of people do not have the privilege of moving their body due to diseases or due to whatever reasons and conditions. So we get to enjoy this body movement and this dance and this workout. And once we shift the mindset like that and switch those have tos with get tos, the whole life changes. Forget about it. Then you want to treat yourself better, and then it's never heavy. It doesn't matter that I gotta wake up at 5:30 in the morning, but I get to treat myself and to start my day with this amazing 1 hour and 1 hour and a half of sweating all the toxins, of moving and getting this energy into me. And then I'm ready to face life and the world, because people who know me know that if I don't get something about myself as a first thing in the morning, a little routine, I might not be the most pleasant person around. Anyways, so those are privileges. Let's focus on how privileged we are to have what we have and to be able to execute our rights of being freely, moving freely, and treating ourselves better. And I'm going to give you another trick before I go. Something that is helping me and might help you. Choose 2 non-negotiables for your health. It can be 5 days a week workout, or like workout every day, or a gallon of water, or 2 servings of fruits every day. Whatever it is that you think that you want to stick to and make a routine in your life. And hey, thanks so much. I love your energy too. I feel like we are very connected in our vision of life. So I'm happy to have you here. So choose 2 things and commit to those 2 things. Write them down, whatever. Put them in your heart and execute them and repeat them. Read them every day. If you write a journal, start your journal every day with my 2 non-negotiables for today are a gallon of water and an hour of workout. My 2 non-negotiables are this and this. Walk 30 minutes outside or whatever. Do this every day until it becomes a routine and it becomes a habit for you, and be committed to it. Respect it. Respect yourself enough to commit to 2 simple things a day that will help your health and will help your life and will help you be this healthy, happy, and fulfilled and energetic person that ultimately everyone wants to be, because let's be real, everyone wants to be. And of course, we need to again mention how important it is to be loving and to be kind to ourselves. That's where everything starts, with that love to ourselves. Treat yourself gently. Talk to yourself gently. Thank yourself. Thank your body. Thank your mind. Thank everything. And just pour that love into yourself and talk to your body like, I'm so grateful for you. I'm grateful that you move me. I'm grateful that you feel this way, that you're here for me. I'm going to nourish you and I will treat you the best way I can. Make your body your best friend. Make your mind your best friend, and make your soul your best friend. Because once you combine these 3 things in any way you can, you don't have to follow anything of what I say or somebody else say, but take a little message, take a little element of the things that I talk about here and create your own ways. Figure out what's good for you and how you can treat yourself better and how you can improve your own life, and do it. Commit to it. Show up for yourself. Don't fail yourself. Be committed to your goals, to your health, to your vision, and to the best version of yourself, because only then we can create anything that we want to create, and we can make any change, any sustainable change, and we can just live this outstanding life which each one of us deserve. Because if you're here and if you're on my channel, you deserve and you want an outstanding life, and it's really not difficult at all. It's very simple. And I'm going to close up with a quote that I want to read you. I came across it a few days ago, and it really resonated with what I'm talking about tonight. It's by Socrates, and it says this: "No citizen has a right to be an amateur in the matter of physical training. What a disgrace it is for a man to grow old without ever seeing the beauty and strength of which his body is capable." If this doesn't close up my life tonight in the perfect way, I don't know what else would. So that's pretty much my thoughts for tonight. Next week, next Wednesday, we'll be talking a lot more about food, about the things, the vitality, the life of vitality, and the things that give us life, and the poisons that take life away from us. So it's going to be pretty interesting. I hope to see some of you over there. And again, I hope that you took something tonight, and I was able to bring a little bit value into your life, because that's all I'm trying to do. Anyways, I love you guys. Thanks so much. My tea is cold again, but I'm getting on it. Have a wonderful night. Remember, it's a new moon tonight, so make those wishes. Visualize your highest self. Visualize your wildest dreams and all your goals, and just put a plan into action and make it happen. Anything is happening. It's a magical month, it's a magical year, and it's a magical life. Forget about what's happening around in the world. Things will always be happening. What's happening inside of you, that's all it matters, because when you master your internal world, you master your outside world. Anyways, love you, kisses. Have a good night.